Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Fools Rush In STFC Fan Chat. We have no game this weekend, and there's a big club v country debate at the moment. So if for those of you who are looking to fill the void of no football this weekend, or just looking to avoid the international football, we thought we'd get together and record this little special. We've got a fantasy football style outlook as Ned has done wonders with a spreadsheet, really. He has tracked down all 325 players, I think it is, in League Two, whose contracts are due to expire. And he has selected 33 of them, I believe it is, to suggest Swindon could sign. And we're going to look at a handful of those and decide between us whether we think they'd be good additions at SN1. Also, for those of you who have been fans long enough, and remember at the start of the year, I started posting out quiz questions each day. We have found the lost calendar of questions, and I'm going to quiz the boys on various footballing matters to see who on this Friday night is switched on. But let's do quick introductions. The man of many podcasts is with us. Good evening, Ben.
Hello, Stephen. I'm good, thanks. How's you, mate?
I am very well. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I hope the weekend remains glorious as the weather has been. I know it has been in Swindon as it has here in Leicester. So I hope, and so therefore you being smack bang in the middle of the two, I hope you've enjoyed nice weather and will do this weekend.
Stratford-upon-Avon has been lovely today. I've been at work all day, but Stratford has been glorious.
Lovely. The man that has worked incredibly hard for this bonus episode. Welcome, because you were severely missed midweek, Ned, after coming back. So welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
The fans will be delighted to see you.
Or one of them, yes.
You have more than one fan. You have more than one fan of your own.
Oh, thank you.
Arguably the most popular member of the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, because of the bonus episode, he has managed to fit us in to his incredibly busy schedule. Welcome back for the first time in what seems forever to Joe. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. It's good to be back. I've missed being involved. So, yeah, looking forward to having a bit of fun tonight, hopefully.
It is excellent to have you back.
With the beard as well. Look, very Johnny Williams lookalike today.
Oh, it's funny. I know what you're going to say, Fyfie. I know
as it happens, obviously, Joe came with me to Craig's wedding last weekend, and that's exactly what I said to him as well.
Taught him everything I know.
Well, he's even been next to the man himself and discussed their looky-likiness, haven't you, sir?
Yeah, that is true. Had a picture of my daughter a few weeks ago, and he pretty much said the same thing. So.
It's an absolute delight to have you back, buddy. Before we get into the couple of things we want to go through tonight, please, obviously it has been a while. Let us know, how do you think the season's going? And with the run-in, obviously we discussed it at length last weekend between ourselves, but now on camera in front of our legions of supporters, how you think the run-in's going to go. I think tight was the word we agreed on.
Yeah, it is going to be tight, but I'm concerned with the teams that have games in hand on us, to be honest. We've got a lot of players out now, important players, and it's strange because I feel like we could win enough games to finish 4th or 5th, but I also feel like we could screw up enough games to finish 8th or 9th. So it's going to be tight either way. I can see us finishing where we are now, to be honest, but just clinging on to the playoffs. We definitely haven't got enough about us to go up automatically, I don't think.
What a negative start to the episode that
well,
is.
You got to go in as, hopefully it picks up as the episode goes along.
There's a reason you haven't been on.
Well, I'll start negative, and then as it goes on, everyone will forget about the negativity. So it's all good.
The alcohol sets in and you become more positive.
No, I just think with the news about McCurdy, I think that's going to be a massive blow. It's just a threat. Even when we're playing poorly, he's still a threat.
Yeah.
And there's not. I've said to my mate that I sit with at games all season, our main starting 11 is probably a top 3 team, but we don't have the depth in the squad, and we're having to rely on players playing a little bit out of position, or they're just not quite good enough at the moment. And I think we will cling on for a playoff place, but I can't see us getting promoted, to be honest.
I think that's almost word for word. It was either Woody or Rich said the same thing the other day, wasn't it? That but I'm pretty sure it was Woody said that our starting 11 is a promotion winning 11, but it's the depth that's the concern.
Can't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, you look at, you're missing a player like Lewis Reed, and you got to replace him with Ryan East. I've got no issue with Ryan East, but he is nowhere near Lewis Reed's level. Ryan East is a steady League Two player. Lewis Reed is a decent League One player.
Yeah, full agreement on that.
It's just when I've been to quite a lot of games this year, 25, I think, something like that. And when we don't have Lewis Reed, we're just not the same team at all.
No.
Fair comments. I don't think anyone's in disagreement with that.
No. You never know. It might give a couple of players a chance to impress at the end of the season. And
just got to pray that Barry comes back, haven't we?
Yeah. Tomlinson needs to stay fit. Barry needs to stay fit. We're relying on a lot now. It's good that Jack Payne's back. He's been a big miss, but it
just seems every time we get a key cog back, another one goes.
Yeah. As McCovid's had this persona about him more than anything. I think there was a fear factor about him that at any given point he could pop up one or create one. And hopefully, though, the rumours back to the advert that he might be back for the playoffs. So if we can get him up and running again by the end, even Walsall, then never know. We never know.
It's not even just the fact that we're going to miss his goals. It's also the fact that he G's up the crowd, he G's up the other team's crowd, and it just gets everything going. It just, he's like COVID at the moment, isn't it? It's very. Is
McCurdy like
Harry McCovid?
Harry McCovid. That's it.
In other words, Ned, you're just saying he's a pain in the ass, yeah?
He's just infectious. If he's playing well, he's up for it, then it just seems to flow throughout the team, doesn't it? But he's going to be a massive miss. Let's just
maybe he can fill in for Rockin' Robin for a little while whilst he's injured. He can wind up the opposition that way.
Rockin' Robin,
a couple of V's or anything whilst.
So we're going from COVID to bird flu.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Again, thanks, Joey. As I say, look forward to your input throughout the rest of the evening, and it is good to have you back with us. Ned, let's bring you in then for this massive sort of Ned report that you've got going on. So tell us a little bit about the work. I mean, we can make the information available to anyone who is interested. Just drop us a message. We'll happily send you so you can look through Ned's notes and see what you think, whether you agree or disagree.
Yeah, it's taken a blooming good while, but I've sourced as much information as possible. As I said to you, pre-recording, what I didn't include is whether people have got options on their contract or not. So I don't think all of these players are going to be available, but certainly it's interesting to see exactly how many of the good players of each team will actually be available at the end of the season. So it's very interesting. It's hopefully should be an interesting read.
I also find it interesting that, as I said in the intro, you've cut the list from 325 players potentially out of contract to that there's only maybe 33 that are of caliber good enough to represent Swindon Town.
Yeah, and I've tried to sort of split it up as much as possible, because there is certain players which I believe are definitely good enough now. There's certain players which would be good enough to come off the bench, which we haven't had this season. And there's a few there which are ones for the future. I mean, granted, they're not that young, but I think because we've got, this wonderful, coaching setup that we have now, we're going to bring on players more than they probably would do at other clubs. So if I just sort of start off with the player that I sort of rave on about all the time, Dylan Bambula from Oldham, he's so skillful. I gave him a fool's rushing rating of 7 out of 10. I would really like to see us take a punt on him, because certainly if Oldham are going out the league, he's going to be clubless at the end of the season anyway. But him in a Ghana style team
Yeah.
would be really good. He'll be really dangerous.
Well, if he can do what he does under Sheridan, imagine what he does with an aggressive, thoughtful, skillful manager.
Exactly.
You know.
It'd be, I've gotten down as a 7. I've gotten 1 for the future. How do you want to do this, Fyfie? Should I just go from
I'm interested. So I'm gonna,
highest rating ones?
I'll fire a couple of questions at you then, based on your spreadsheet that you've put together. So who have you given the highest Fools Rushing rating to?
Right, 2 players. One that Ben mentioned in the pre-recording, which was Dom Telford of Newport. You know, goes without saying, really. You know, he's an absolute goal machine this year, and strikers are worth their weight in gold. So for sure, 9 out of 10 I've given him. I would say that if there is a chance that we can get him, then we should go all out and get him, because you know he's going to score goals no matter which team he plays in. If he can play for us in League One over playing for Newport in League Two, you know, I think we would stand as good a chance as anyone to sign him. So he's my highest rating. What do you guys think of him?
Well, I imagine him next to someone like Davison, who would create lots for him. And if he's got the support players behind him as well, or even if we do bag Simpson in the summer, I think they'd be work well together. Little large. He's a little good little nippy small player, isn't he? A great finish on him, fox in the box.
That's it.
Well.
Simon Cox is a good comparison. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
I think
what do you reckon,
it's
Joe?
also for me, it's also good, like the vision of having the options. Like say you don't want to become. I know we've in recent weeks said that evidently as a team we now have that mythical plan B, C, D at times, but it's also good to be able to say, okay, for this game it suits a bigger, more physical, imposing striker, but for this game it suits more mobile, blah blah blah, sort of smaller run around striker, and it's good to have the options to literally change it around.
So, for example, like Tranmere, isn't it? You know, Tranmere got an age in defence. I mean, they're all absolutely fantastic players, but if you've got pacey people running around and, you know, leaving
Being
Mr.
busy.
40-year-old, at the back, I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, Dom Telford would be fantastic. The other player, which I've rated 9 out of 10, is from Hartlepool, and that's Luke Molyneux. Bradford City, you know, Liam and that would absolutely raving about him, and he absolutely runs the games for Hartlepool. He's only 23. He would slot into, you know, Jack Payne's position, you know, that type of player. So I'd be extremely happy if we could add him to, you know, the interested list. I would jump at the chance to get him in. What do you guys think of Luke Molyneux?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't personally seen him play, I don't think, unless he played in a game at the county ground, I can't remember. But I've read a lot of good reports about him, and he does seem that attacking, sort of goal-scoring, assisting midfielder, which you always want in your team, don't you? Players like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we're gone are the days where we want a midfield of James Dunn and Tamani Diagoraga again.
Oh my days.
Ben?
But the one thing about Luke Molyneux is I believe he's going through contract talks at the moment. So, you know, if he's the kind of person that if you want him, you need to start speaking to his agent now rather than leaving it to the summer.
I think the thing at this level, though, is especially League Two more so than League One, is players do play a lot more for their local teams or more local teams. So I mean, I don't know Luke Molyneux's history, but if he's a northern guy from that area,
absolutely,
it's going to take a lot to persuade him to come all the way down here, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's hard to grab the northern lads, especially when they're quite young and you've got families nearby as well. If he's 23 years old, he's probably mum and dad's not too far, and his support network are there as well. But if we could bag him, you know, I know he scores a few goals. He scored recently against Newport. I think I consider Newport as an overachiever this season. I think they've done probably a bit better than I thought they generally thought, and he's one of the main reasons for that. So I would not be bothered, you know, I wouldn't mind at all having someone like that on our books.
Okay, Ned, fire us through a couple of names that you think would be first team players.
Okay, so so I'll give my ratings of 8. So there's 2 from Northampton, 2 from Forest Green, one from Bradford, one from Bristol Rovers. I think I would class them as, and also one from Oldham, believe it or not.
I hope the one from Bradford is Callum Cook.
You're absolutely right. Callum Cook is the one.
Decent player.
He really is, and that was, when we were speaking to Liam again. I said, my first thing that I said to him was, does he play like that every week? Because, apparently, previous he'd been a bit iffy, but he's got bags of potential. I mean, he's only 25, so he wouldn't incur a charge either. So I mean, that's again another attacking midfielder. Again, would slot into our formation, no problem at all, and gives us plenty of options in the middle of the park. I'd love for us to sign him, but with Mark Hughes coming in, is he really going to want to leave Bradford at probably their most exciting point for so many years? I don't really know, but the other players I've got, so from Forest Green, Nicky Cadden, he looked really good against us.
Yeah, very good player.
And Kane Wilson really sort of goes without saying. He's got. If I just read out what I've put down here rather than freestyling, I put Kane as a talent and would be sensational signing for us. Again, has had a great season so far from the impressive West Brom Academy. First real season of first team football, and has proved he has a great future in the sport. Easily takes first team spot if he signs for us, which I think that covers everything, really, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, he can score goals. He gets assists. Right wing back position. He is tailor made to go straight into our starting lineup. I love Rob Hunt, but he certainly would take that position in my opinion.
It's worth saying that if the team at the county ground are interested in Ned's extensive report, then we certainly wouldn't be charging them commission for it. Just a little bit of recognition.
No, just season tickets.
Ooh, yes.
We'll trade you the Ned report for season tickets.
Season tickets and away travel. That'd be good. Thank you very much.
So that's Bradford and Forest Green done. Who have you put down from Bristol Rovers out of interest?
Bristol Rovers, again, nice and straightforward. Anthony Evans, he scored plenty of goals. Again, he would slot into our midfield beautifully. I've put down he's had 16 goal contributions this season, which is nothing to be sniffed at all.
Especially for a team that, for the large part, was struggling.
Yeah,
exactly, absolutely. Yeah. I put could be long-term replacement for Ben Gladwin. I'm not saying that Ben Gladwin's going, but he's not going to be around for
forever.
3 years or so, is he? But again, Anthony Evans is only 23, and again under the correct tutelage rather than fucking Joey Barton, the knobhead. He
other really managers are available.
Other managers are knobheads. There's plenty of knobheads out there. John,
yes. I'm so glad I wasn't on the last pod because I would have launched into Crawley. I've got to be honest. Every single out of contract Crawley player, I put a big capital N next to all of them.
I think to be fair to you there, Ned, I think on the last episode, I actually said to Ruben, I said that the credit to Crawley is I watched the game on iFollow, and there's not a single member of that Crawley team that just beat Swindon that I would have in the Swindon team.
I mean, that Kwesi Appiah, he is so rubbish. And to allow him to score against us so easily as well is just criminal. I'm sorry. Right. I'll go back to the thing because
you weren't tempted to have another Jack Payne running around.
What's that? No.
You weren't tempted to have another Jack Payne running around.
No, he's like 30 or something. The other Jack Payne.
There's poor man's Jack Payne and there's our Jack Payne.
Wilkinson. That's it. Wilkinson, Jack Payne. So the two from Northampton have gone for Danny Rose. Danny Rose, he's had his most difficult season in his career so far. He's only got 1 goal this season, but you look at his stats for previous,
Mansfield, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Exactly.
He was immense. He just was free scoring. No, there's a player in there somewhere. It's like Paddy
Exactly.
Madden. There's a player in there somewhere. The right club could bring it out of him. How old is he, by the way, Ned?
28.
28.
So he's still got a few years.
He's still got a few years in him. I think he's just.
He should be. He's pretty much hitting peak power now.
I wouldn't be adverse to signing him.
I would hit peak power now as well.
We all like to peak power.
And Fraser, I know it sounds a bit weird, but Fraser Horsfall, centre back. He's rocked up with 8 goals so far this season, and there's something that we've not had probably since the Sean Taylor days. Is a centre back that can score 10 goals a season.
Yeah.
So again, he's what
Flynn must have got close, surely, or am I just over exaggerating how many he did score? Flynn.
Flint.
Flint.
Scored a few.
He got a few, didn't he? Yeah.
Flint got a few, but
we don't talk about Flint.
I try to forget about that bloke.
But no, I understand what you mean, and that sort of role, because at corners we don't score many goals at all set plays, and we need some sort of we've got good ball players. It's not the crosses. We just don't have anyone who's dominant that gets in the right place. And we'd be top 3 if we had one of them.
That's a neat little segue, actually, that you've completely inadvertently managed there, Ned. Because my next question was going to be: we seem to highlight centre backs as being the area of concern within the first team at the moment. So I was just going to ask, sort of, what centre backs are getting reasonably high Fools Rushing ratings from you that we might consider.
So other than Fraser Horsfall, Carl Piergiani, who again you've heard me rave about him before. Yeah. The one thing that I would
from Oldham?
From Oldham, yeah. I mean, he's played in non-league like his whole career, and then come up either last year or the year before to Oldham. But he wins everything in the air, and he organises the back. He's a true sort of, 29, 30-year-old captain who sits at the back, and everyone respects him. And it's just, he will, by the time summer comes around, he will be 30. But I really rate him, and I just, it's just to have that.
Thing is,
that old head at the back.
Yeah.
For me would be invaluable. I know that we like our loanees and stuff.
Well,
but
you see, the thing with that, sorry to jump in there.
No.
I mean, you say about 30, etc. But and I appreciate it was different time in different situations. But I think back to when we signed Gordon Greer, and I was delighted.
Yeah.
He's one of the, arguably, and this is potentially controversial, but arguably for me, one of the best centre backs in recent years we've had.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hold on, I agree. He was a massive loss.
Danny Ward,
reason we went down. He's a big reason we went down the following season, because we missed that sort of character at the back. Scott Cuthbert was rubbish after he left, and he was fantastic in the year we got to the playoffs. Incidentally, that Oldham player, Ned, did you go watch the Swindon Oldham game? Were you at the ground?
Yeah.
You see, I know what you're saying, and you've mentioned it before in the past, but I thought Oldham's backline, rather than just get blocks in, which they did brilliantly and hold the line, they were awful with the ball. I mean, like, their back four, it all told to you by Sheridan was just hoof it.
The flip side to that, I would say, because that is a case in point when our style of play is to be ball playing team.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, how many goals have we conceded this year trying to play the ball? So maybe and that's with good ball players. Maybe we need someone who's not going to try and play the ball at times. But
we'll go on and sign that sort of player.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's the $1 million question. It's, for me, you've got to weigh up, how I mean, we're not going to find the perfect player, are we? We're not going to, because otherwise he'll be signed up by a championship team or a Premier League team.
We're not going to know.
So, is he going to be plumping for someone who's, good with his feet, probably should be playing centre mid, a defensive midfielder position, but can tackle?
Well, look at Frenchie's role at the moment. He's not going to be around much longer, if at all. So if we were to bring someone similar in who isn't going to start every game necessarily, but when we're under pressure, can come in, experienced head, and will just clear the ball. He will stop us conceding. Surely that's got to be someone worth having in the squad.
Well, he was invaluable against Bradford, wasn't he, when he came on the other week? And he came on, he was perfect game and played a vital part in us winning that one.
He was brilliant against Sutton as well.
And it's just the fact that, I mean, as I said, Piergiani just wins everything. He wins everything in the air, and it's not typically a centre back that we've got with that trait, and we haven't had for quite a while. And it'd just be nice to have that reassurance from, for conceding a corner, that we're going to have someone who's going to more than likely get out of the box. So that's why I really rate him. I just, hang on, if I go down the list a bit more. I saw that Northampton also, Sid Nelson is going to be out of contract at the end of the year. And I put him down that he's a centre back, but who wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's done a good job at the Cat Ground before, in difficult times.
Got promoted Premature as well, hasn't he? So he's got out this division. I
really like him. I really liked him before. I'm a little bit disappointed he didn't come back to us, but again, it's an option. I certainly would be looking at signing at least 2 or possibly even 3. As you said, with Frenchie, he's going to be retiring at the end of the season, isn't he?
Okay. Let's look from another perspective then. So we've had news which we'll be discussing, I imagine, on next week's episode. But the latest starlet has signed a contract. So go into the players with potential, Ned, and give us a couple of ones for the future that you think we might be able to develop. It's worth saying while Ned resorts his spreadsheet to bring us this interesting detail. Tomorrow or today, when you're most likely watching this, is non-league day. So if with no Swindon game and you're looking for a football fix, why not head to your local non-league side and show them a bit of support?
A Supermarine home tomorrow.
Way to Yate.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other. There's other non-league teams in the area. I'm sure.
So I mean, strictly, I don't think you can class any of these as ones for the future. But I've sort of gone down the route of because I didn't want to chuck in too many under 23s because of the fact that they would cost. It would be a purchase rather than signing a free agent, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But the younger ones, God, it sounds terrible. But another one from Oldham. When he come on, I thought he looked pretty decent. Right back, Dylan Fage. I've rated him 5 out of 10, but I just thought it's someone that we could develop. He's 23. Yeah. It's he's still young enough to develop and to come on. I thought he looked decent. I thought seeing that he was available on the free transfer, that'd be pretty decent. And hello, I actually did include someone from Crawley, and I've included again this. Joe, did you go to the Crawley game?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Because if I'm completely off the mark, then you can shoot me down. But I thought Ashley Nadasan might be an interesting one to sort of bring in as one for the future as well.
He's a runner, isn't he? He's a bit like McCurdy, actually. He's very pacey and just causes problems with his pace, really.
Got a decent engine on him as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Trier. God loves a trier.
Yeah.
The wording I put on there was full of industry. So that, but I just thought, again, if you've got the coaches that we've got to sort of bring players on, I thought that he would be quite a useful one to bring on. And also I put down Will Randall as well, because he's still only 24. He looks so much better.
At the age of 24, his career is going to go full circle already.
I just thought when we played Sutton, he looked quite dangerous, and as I put down on the notes, he seems to have got a lot taller than I remember he was, and he's a lot more muscular than he
about
was
12
as well.
when he left.
Well, yeah, it was so long ago that he left. It was
You know,
years ago.
this might surprise you, Ned, but he's hit puberty and everything.
Yeah. He's actually developed into a bloke now.
He may have
I
had
saw
his
him
first
drinking.
kiss.
It's almost
His voice has dropped and everything.
Well, I'll be honest, Ben. I'm 32 and my voice hasn't dropped yet.
Well, I just thought, because we had him on trial not so long ago. Was it this season or the last season? We had him on
I
trial?
remember we had him back on trial for a while. Yeah, he went to Wolves, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He didn't stick out to me, but like in the Sutton team, he looked quite tall and he had quite a lot about him. With his pace and his he was quick with his feet. He could sort of cut in. I just thought he looked really, quite useful.
In fairness, Ned, I also I remember going back a couple of seasons ago now, I was watching some I think I was watching SPL or something on the telly, and Miles Story was playing for, I think it was Partick Thistle at the time. And I thought, bloody hell, he's got massive. He was never a massive guy, and all of a sudden he's played up in Scotland. I was like, he's huge.
Yeah, deep fried Mars bars and pizzas.
That's it.
Up the Iron Brew.
And the Iron Brew. Yeah, that's what that's to lad.
So I'm not sure if you want to go down this route, Fyfie, but there's one or two players that I put down. You probably put question marks against, but I put. Do people remember Josh Falkingham for Harrogate when they come to the county ground?
Vaguely.
He was. I remember thinking, oh, I fucking hate him, but actually, he's just one of them players that very massive passion. He's an organizer of players. You could see that he was shouting for every player. If they weren't in the right position, he'd be giving them a lecture, he'd be pointing them where to go. And I thought, do you know what? That's something that we could do with. Do you know what I mean?
We ain't got that.
So I thought, Josh Falkingham is an outsider for me. I'd put him down as a 7 out of 10. Okay. I imagine that he's the type of player that he would actually turn out to be a fan's favorite. He might not be the
best player.
Yeah, the best player, or even the person who scores the goals, or even gets the assist. But he does all the donkey work, and he'll be either a good sort of backup for Louis, or someone else in the middle of the park. But do you know what I mean? It's just that kind of player who can
Alan McCormack.
Well, yeah, perfect example. Or your Luke Nyholt, or
slightly
that
older listener.
Yeah, sorry. Scott Leach, yeah, another, maybe not so much Darren Bullock. But
Darren Bullock.
Feisty, put in a tackle, get everyone organised. We haven't had that sort of player. You could say Anthony Grant was probably quite, as close to that as we've had in recent times. But yeah, I mean, I think he's an outside chance of being
well received.
Yeah, exactly.
Ned, honestly, I can't thank you enough for the work you have put into this. I'm intrigued. I'm going to go a bit rogue with you now, and if you need us to fill a minute or two's time, what I'd like you to do, just to conclude the talk we'll have, and again, all this information is available to anyone who wants it. Just drop us a message, and we can get it sent to you. Pick a surprise player that you think would be a good fit at Swindon Town, one that we've probably not thought of even when we've looked at your list. You pick one out at random that might shock people that you think would be a good fit.
Oh, as a backup, so this isn't a first choice. I put because I reckon he would come back down south again. I put Jordan Turnbull, because he's a left-sided centre back. I know that.
That's got mixed reactions. That Ned. That's exactly what I was after.
He frustrates and excites in equal measures. But I'm
seeing no excitement in Joe's face whatsoever.
Once his mate Jack Stevens fucked off, he was useless.
Yeah, it's his mate. He wasn't quite the same. He did get Player of the Year in his first year at the club, and it sort of
that was a fucking robbery as well.
Yeah. But he gave the big one. He actually gave the big one when Salford beat us, and they went 2-1 up. He was giving the big one to Swindon fans.
The one thing I will say, to be fair, you know, he's nothing more than a League Two clogger, but he's a Wiltshire lad, so he generally probably would want to play for us again if we put a decent offer in for him. I think personally, I prefer Guthrie at Northampton if we could get him.
Yeah,
just big, tall, horrible bastard, really. That's what we need. We need, like we're saying, like a Sid Nelson. That sort of, we need every team in League Two needs
a Sid Nelson.
Yeah, needs a Sid Nelson or what Jake O'Brien's going to be in 5 years' time.
If we can get an horrible bastard that can pass the ball, then we're away.
I'm not even worried if they don't pass the ball, to be honest. Just win the ball, give it to somebody that can pass the ball.
Yeah.
Ned, thank you again for all of your hard work and effort creating this list. It's been fascinating listening to you and the guys debating a number of these players, and it will certainly be interesting to see if any are turning out at SN1 in the near future. But no, thank you very much, Ned. Very much appreciated.
What I'd like as well is if obviously people in the chat, if we can just like for example Joe, you're saying about Guthrie. If he's available on that list, I haven't got enough time to look down and search for him now. It's 300 odd players. But if there's any there that you really like as well, because obviously we build up this database of what we think of certain players and whether they're worth getting or not. Then it's just interesting to see, innit? And then we just add to it as much as we can do. I really like. I love that idea, and then people can have it if they want it as well. I just love it.
And Chorley.
I've just scrolled down the list here. I've got to Northampton. He doesn't feature.
He's under contract. He's probably tied under a couple of years, isn't he, or something?
Right then, guys, who's interested in a Friday night quiz?
Yes.
Well, I'm not really interested, but you're going to make us do it anyway. So.
Well, I mean, you could always sod off if you want, but you've got nothing else to do. That's why you're here.
That's true. That is a fair point.
Okay, I have all of the questions that have been missing so far since it went missing. And as we discussed off air, we're going to do it that kind of weird way that people do quizzes these days, where I want you to answer the question before. So I will read you the first question. There'll be no answer. For the next question, answer the first question. Understand?
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'll get you.
And these aren't Swindon Town related. We've done a lot of Swindon Town quizzes. This is football in general. And if any of the answers are wrong, please don't blame me. Blame the people at, I've not got the cover page to the calendar, whoever creates these football quiz calendars. But we have a number of questions here, so good luck, gents, and we'll do the answers at the end.
Right.
I'm going to blame Gabriel Sutton.
Yeah.
For no obvious reason. Okay. So the first question for tonight: who broke the world transfer record in 1992 when he moved for 12 million, but just 4 years later signed for Chelsea on a free transfer?
(1992).
Correct. I mean, do you want to do that, or do you just want to answer the questions as we go along? I'll leave it up to you.
Should we just answer them as we go along?
Should we just answer as we go along? That's a bloody good one, I'm just trying to think.
Does it say what team?
Yeah, who did he sign for?
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say.
He signed for Chelsea 4 years later.
Yeah, 12 million is a lot of money.
It was in the 90s.
I've got a name, but
go on then,
right.
Joe. Who's your guess?
Gianluca Vialli.
Correct, sir. Well done.
Gianluca Vialli.
Joe.
Who did he sign for 12 million?
It
I just got called sad by my wife, but
Joe, who did he sign for 12 million?
Or Juve? Could it have been Juve?
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember him being a big, when he went to Chelsea, there was quite a big hullabaloo about him signing.
A Premier League club had signed him for 12 million. and then went off. But no, oh, good shout though.
Well done, Joe.
Good knowledge.
Massive.
It's my lucky likey, isn't it?
Yeah. Old Johnny.
Question number 2. A bit more modern, this one. In December 2020, Sheffield United winger Oliver Burke beat whose record 24-game winless streak in the Premier League after the Scotland international side's 1-0 loss against Burnley?
I think I know this one.
Go on then.
Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale is correct, Ben.
Well done. Good grief. He
I
made me
remember
forget one.
when he was first broken to Spurs, and he went.
Yeah,
for
it was
unbelievable-
ages, wasn't it? It
ages
was under
for it to
Redknapp, I
one.
think, wasn't it?
He was a left back then, when he
was?
first broke in.
If anyone's faces start to pull as we go through this quiz, I haven't got a piece of paper to keep the score, so I'm putting in our chat what the score is. So at the minute, Ned's just seeing Ned 0 keep coming up. I mean, we are only 2 questions in, Ned, don't worry.
Doing wonders for my self-esteem, I tell you. Ned 0. Ned 0.
In the 2019-2020 season, which player set a new record for the fewest games to reach 20 Champions League goals?
Which
Erling
season again?
Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Raheem Sterling, or Harry Kane?
Shall we just write this down and then give the answers, and then whoever gets the point? So what season was it?
2019-20.
2019-20, and the options?
Haaland, Mbappe, Sterling, Kane.
What did you say it was? It was the quickest to get to 20
Quickest.
goals.
Which player set a new record for the fewest games to reach 20 Champions League goals? Who are you going for, Ned?
I'm going to say Mbappe.
Joe?
Yeah, I was a toss-up between Mbappe, but I went for Haaland.
And Ben?
Mbappe.
The answer was Harry Kane.
Do you know what? I knew that would be a curveball.
It took just 24 games for the England skipper to reach the landmark.
Oh, fair play to him.
Fair play, Harry.
Fuck you, Harry.
I love you, Harry.
Okay, so fastest on the button again this time then. Which club was Ian Rush playing for when he made the last of his 73 appearances for Wales in 1996?
Ventus.
I'm afraid that's wrong, Joe.
Who is he playing for? Swansea?
I'm afraid that's also wrong, Ben. It's all on you, Ned. This is your chance for a point, sir.
I honestly don't know. I'm
I
going to
do
guess
think
at
you might be
Shrewsbury.
overthinking it somewhat.
Oh, Liverpool.
Correct. Well done, Ned.
Well done, Ned.
Not every question is a trick question, lads.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Prior to joining Blackburn Rovers, Lewis Holtby played for which 2 clubs in the Premier League?
What's him, Lewis?
Oh, I know.
Holtby.
Lewis Holtby.
I know one.
Go on then. Who's one?
Spurs.
Spurs is one.
So the point
Norwich.
goes to whoever gets the second one. I'm afraid it's not Norwich, Ben.
Oh, bollocks.
I thought it was just Spurs. Did he go on loan somewhere, I reckon?
This is great for the audio listeners.
Right,
Yeah.
let's name another Premier League team. I think about getting my one wrong, but
Do you want a hint, lads?
yeah, go on.
Go on then.
The club do not currently play in the Premier League. They obviously did when he did, but not now.
What year did he play for?
The thing is, we know Ned has a laptop to hand, so he's seriously just Lewis Holtby.
Lewis Holtby, ex-Premier League club that could be one of many.
I'm gonna have to rush you guys.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
PPR.
Who did you say, Ned?
Birmingham.
I'm afraid you're both wrong. It was Fulham.
Oh,
Fulham.
Oh, of course it was, Ben. Of course it
Yeah,
was.
Fulham.
I don't remember him being at
No, I don't remember.
No, I don't either.
No clue who he is.
Yeah, but let's be honest. If I was to say to you, with the exception of Mitrovic, can you name me 2 other players that played for Fulham last time they were in the Premier League?
Good point.
Okay.
Oh.
Next question. I'm expecting a very quick answer from all of you here, so it's purely who gets in first.
Yeah, I'm feel tough.
In which World Cup was the Hand of God scored?
86.
86. Ooh.
And Ben takes the point for being quickest there. Well done, Ben. Which Argentinian has won the Premier League more times than any of his compatriots?
Where?
Well done, Ned. Not messing around now. The scores currently sit 2 for Ned, 1 for Joe, 2 for Ben. Which 2 Italians have scored Premier League hat-tricks for Chelsea?
Bobby Zola.
Yarlin Zola.
Yarli and Zola is correct, Ben. Well done. Zola was one hell of a player, wasn't he? I genuinely don't think Zola gets the recognition he deserves.
No, he's one of the best. He's up there.
Absolute class, yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of the best.
Unbelievable player.
Little magician.
Just before Christmas 2020, Lionel Messi scored his 644th goal for Barcelona during his side's victory over Real I'm never going to pronounce this. Valladolid.
Valladolid, well done.
To break whose record of the most goals for one club?
John Trollope.
I'm afraid it wasn't John Trollope. No.
Was this person also from Real Madrid?
No.
I was going to say Raul.
What about Romario?
Nope. Ned?
Uh,
I think you're maybe underthinking it.
Ronaldo.
Pele.
Pele.
Which former Manchester United footballer, the first player to captain Scottish and English FA Cup winning sides, played for Aberdeen like his father Martin, his brother George, and his son Jamie?
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
I can. Which former Manchester United footballer, the first player to captain Scottish and English FA Cup winning sides, played for Aberdeen like his father Martin, his brother George, and his son Jamie?
That was Scooby-Doo.
Any guesses at all, gents? Ned feels like he's on a path towards the answer.
I don't. Yes, he called the internet.
What was that? Oh no, Captain Man United. Did he captain Man United? Or just Scotland?
Oh no!
What
he
sort
never
of
said
era
he
is this?
never said he captained Man United. He said he was the first player to captain Scottish and English FA Cup winning sides.
Jim Leighton.
No. Good guess though.
No, it's a good guess. Is it that sort of era?
I mean, it's pre-me.
Gordon
is all I can
Strachan.
say.
Gordon Strachan.
No, I'm afraid it's not Gordon Strachan. Any guesses at all, Joe?
McQueen.
Martin, I'm going to go with Buchan.
Not a clue.
Buchanan.
Neil Buchanan.
Banksy.
Heart attack.
Yes. This is an FA Cup. This is an FA Cup. These are the FA Cups.
That's very good. And for those younger viewers and listeners who don't know what Art Attack is, ask your parents.
They all have Neil Buchanan.
Which former Man City and East Germany striker led Brentford to a third place
Uwe
finish?
Rosler.
Ned's not. Ned, sorry, Joe's not even waiting for the question to finish.
Good striker he was. He was a good striker back in the day. Manager of us when they dumped us out the playoffs as well, wasn't he?
In May 2020, it was decided the Women's Super League would be curtailed, but which club was relegated and which one came up from the Championship? Where's Woody when you need him?
Liverpool.
Liverpool were relegated.
Brighton. Leicester.
Mm,
Man City,
no.
Birmingham.
Reading.
Norwich.
So far, geographically speaking, which as you know is not my strong point, Joe is the closest so far.
What did you say, Joe?
I can't remember now.
No, did you say
No, Liverpool. I'm sure Liverpool got relegated.
Liverpool were
Everton.
relegated, that's correct.
Everton.
Nope.
Tranmere.
Nope. Geographically
Blackpool.
speaking, Joe's guess of Birmingham was closest.
Oh, Aston Villa.
Aston
Well
Villa.
done, Ben.
Yeah! Knew it. I knew it. It was tip of my tongue, that.
Absolute robbery that was.
Like Turnbull getting player of the season.
Yeah. Sword. Got the pleasure. We had Kazim, we had Luongo, we
Yeah,
had
and they picked fucking Jordan
Nathan-
Turnbull.
Nathan Byrne.
Although we were
Jordan bloody
discussing last weekend that player of the season doesn't always mean anything because we reminisced about when Pericard was.
Yeah. So just saying, Swindon fans should not be allowed to vote.
Is that just on football or on all matters?
Probably-
Maybe
probably
we
in
should
general,
get
yeah.
into that.
No, we're not going there. We are not going there.
That's not our kind of thing.
That's
to
not.
talk
We're not doing that debate. No.
In January last year, Mikel Antonio became the fourth player to score 40 Premier League goals for West Ham after Paulo Di Canio, 47, Mark Noble, 46, and which other player?
Paulo Di Canio.
Pads can him twice.
No, not Paulo
Oh,
Di
did you say
Canio.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is an obvious answer. I'll give you this. It's an obvious answer.
Jermaine Defoe.
No, not that obvious.
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard struggled to play 40 games, never mind score 40 goals.
I know he played for West Ham when he was young. I didn't know how many.
He got bullied for being fat and went off crying.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, Fat Frank.
Oh,
I mean-
Frank.
Who's now got a busted up hand.
Yeah.
I mean, think about West Ham in their Premier League era. There's been one striker played there for a very,
Andy
very
Carroll.
Tony Cottee.
Who'd you say, Ned?
Andy Carroll
No, not Andy Carroll.
Tony
I think Andy
Cottee.
Carroll scored 40 goals for West Ham.
in 1 year.
Again, he struggled to play 40 games for West Ham.
Frank McAvenny. Tony Cottee. He didn't Premier League. Frank McAvenny, was he? Tony Cottee. I keep screaming Tony Cottee, hoping that you change your mind, but no.
How long was Teddy Sheringham there? No, not that long.
Not Teddy. We're going to kick ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
Cyril Regis. Alien Atkinson.
No.
Oh, he was Villa.
He was Villa.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Right colours.
Going off on a tangent. now.
Still Claret, yeah.
Do you want his
West Ham.
initials?
Oh,
Yeah, initials?
Yeah.
CC.
Carlton
Who?
Cole.
Well done, Joe.
Oh, he scored that many.
Carlton Cole. Carlton Cole.
He must have been there 10 years. He must have been there 10 years to score
He
that.
must have been there for donks. Yeah, he was donkey years.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
What's there
goal.
for donkeys?
He was a massive donkey. He was awful.
Who would you rather have up front for you, Carlton Cole or Emil Heskey?
Emma
Oh,
Heskey.
Heskey all day long.
Heskey. He was the provider. Couldn't score, but he was a provider.
Michael Owen would say Heskey's the best ever strike partner he had.
Hmm.
so he made him look great.
5-1. Even Heskey scored 5-1.
We know we get a lot of Oldham viewers watching these podcasts, so this is one for you if you're watching,
Sheridan
playing
shit.
along. If you are playing along at the end of the episode, again, fire us through your scores. Did you beat any of the guys to any of the answers? Which DH scored Wimbledon's only Premier League hat-trick when he netted 3 times against
Holdsworth.
Oldham
Dean
in
Holdsworth.
1994?
Oh.
Who did you say, Ned?
Gets it.
I said Dean Holdsworth.
That would be
Yeah.
wrong.
DH. DH.
For anyone on audio, Joe's got his head in his hands. Ned's in disbelief.
There's only ever
He's got
been
his
one DH playing for Wimbledon back in the day.
DH.
DH.
And I will admit, I've had to read this twice because I was actually going to tell you the wrong name as well. I thought it said Don Hutchinson.
Darius Henderson.
No.
DH
DH.
for Oldham.
Who did you say again, Ned? No, seriously, who did you say?
Dean Holdsworth.
Oh, no, you were right.
Oh no!
Turned into a fucking shambles already. I'm very tired.
That's why I
Bowling
had
took-
my head in my hands, Fyfie. I'm sure that was the answer.
Yeah, we're just thinking about another player called Dean Holdsworth.
Bowling took it out of me, clearly.
Yeah.
It's very dark in here. I'm struggling to read the very tiny text.
And the answer is Steve Bull. What?
There's current scores are Ned 4, Joe 3, Ben 4.
It's all tight, isn't it? It's tight.
Really?
Very tight. It's tighter than the League 2 race for promotion.
Yeah.
Liverpool have won 6 European Cup / Champions Leagues, and Man United have won 3. But who are England's third most successful team in the competition?
Forest?
Correct, Ned.
Oh, good
You're
shout.
just a little bit
Forest
quicker
straight
than
away.
me.
They won it 2 times in a row, didn't they? Yeah, Forest.
And that puts Ned into the lead.
Oh, you ready, kids?
Speaking of Forest, midfielder Chris Commons, who played for Stoke, Forest and Derby, played 12 times for which country?
Scotland.
Wales.
Well
Ireland.
done, Joe. Wales?
Yeah. That was when he was under 21.
Oh, now this made huge news at the time. Speaking of Wales, what colour did Cardiff owner Vincent Tan controversially?
Oh, red, yeah.
Ben's not waiting. He wants the points.
Red.
Red Army.
Ruby. Wales.
Which English
Very
football club, previously known as New Brompton, play their home matches at Priestfield Stadium?
Gillingham.
Chesterfield. Oh, it is Gillingham.
Yeah, Pikeys.
Well done.
Saltergate.
Pikeys.
Preston's
And
Deepdale.
that Joe brings the scores to 5-5-5.
Like Sheffield United.
Ooh, how many questions in this?
There's still plenty left, lads. Don't
There's still
worry.
3 months worth left, yeah.
So we are officially up to Monday, the 21st of February.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
That's how far behind we were. We started on Monday, the 31st of January. We've missed nearly 2 months of questions.
We got a month's worth left now. Enough. Just over.
Which Premier League team did John Stones join for $3 million in January
Man City.
2013?
Oh no, Everton.
Everton.
Oh, he's gone too
Blackburn.
early, hasn't he? And Ned's taken the point.
Barnsley.
That was premature, Joe.
Yeah, oh, as always, mate. As always.
Premature Joe. That's the
the
name that can stick, you know.
That should have been on the t-shirt.
Premature Joe.
Premature Joe.
What happened to Joe's t-shirt?
You don't want that name.
I can
You do
Oh,
tell.
that
realise-
woman
so-
took it.
I was.
Who took it?
That woman in the pub.
Oh, yeah, the
took it.
woman took
Oh,
Joe's
yeah, some random bird's got the woman's got your t-shirt, Joe.
I hope she was a big woman to fit my t-shirt.
No, it was very big on her.
Got
So
nine.
I was going to name this episode Harry McCovid, but now I might just call it Premature Joe.
That is Premature Joe, bless you.
Which English club hold the unenviable record of the longest winless run in Europe's top 5 leagues, which they set when they went winless for 32 consecutive matches in the Premier League in 07-08?
Derby County.
Derby
Well
County.
done, Ben. Huge point that for Ben as he draws level with Ned on 6 points. So tight.
I'm just too slow. I know more. I'm just too slow.
Which club won the European Cup 3 times, but have only won the competition once more since it changed its name to the Champions League?
Atletico Madrid.
No.
What about AC Milan?
No.
Ajax.
No. Ned? I'll give you a clue. These two are out, but one of them said the answer.
What?
These two are out, but one of them then said the answer.
I've only said one, so
Yeah, I was going to
Right.
say, surely
Yes,
they got it
right.
right then.
No, Ben said Atletico Madrid, but then he just said someone else.
oh, it's that right? Okay,
Inter
yeah,
Milan.
okay, I did get it right, but I was
No, it's
wrong.
not Inter Milan either, I'm afraid, Ned. It was Ajax.
It was Ajax.
Oh, yeah.
Shows that Ned's so involved in trying to figure the answer, he's not actually paying attention to what's going on.
Ajax.
Oh, man.
In November 2020, David Martindale took over which club? Then
Livingston.
10th. Sorry?
Livingston.
Well done.
What a random question to get.
He
that.
come out of prison, didn't he, or something?
Premature Joe does it again.
Oh, look at the scores. The
Sometimes
scores.
it pays off, Ned.
Oh, the
Sometimes it pays off.
scores. Oh, no, this is not a good sign.
The scores currently Ned 6, Joe 6, Ben 6. When Charlton Athletic stormed to promotion from League One in 2012 with 101 points, which striker, the son of an Arsenal legend, was their top scorer with 22 goals?
Bradley Wright Phillips.
Well done, Joe.
Good player. One of the players that we were going to sign.
Another one we were going to sign.
Yeah, that the mysterious embargo crept in when there was a midnight statements were rolling up just before Paolo left.
Do you know what? Do you know when I think back to like yesteryear, not like way back when, but like say 10, 15 years ago, don't you wish we had the Ned report when players like Bradley Wright Phillips and Sofiane Zabou were all being signed and Miguel Dominguez. I'd love to see Ned's research into these players.
Sebastian Ruster.
Royce Brownlee.
Oh man.
Which Egyptian international striker who also
Mido.
Who shouted Mido?
Ned.
Well done, Ned.
Name an Egyptian striker.
Yeah.
But can you walk like an Egyptian? I knew at least one of you would try.
I ain't trying.
Which two South Americans have won Man United's Player of the Year award?
Sanchez and
Carlos Tevez.
Nope.
Gabriel Hense.
Gabriel Heinze is correct.
Oh.
And one more.
Chicharito.
No. Is Mexico classed as South American?
No, Central American.
It's south of America.
Mm.
But no, Chicharito never won it, as far as I'm aware anyway.
Sanchez, what first name was? I can't remember. Falcao.
What about Veron?
Falcao was
Veron.
fucking
What
dreadful.
about Juan Sebastian Veron?
Veron.
No, Veron was equally dreadful for Man United.
I'm just trying to think of South American footballers now.
Would you like a clue?
I mean, I got Gabriel Hense. Come on.
You did. But it's all down to who gets the second one now. Would you like a clue?
Got him.
He was there for many years. He was signed from a lowly Premier League side who are now in the Football League, but they were FA Cup winners. He started as a right winger and then played as right back and became Man United's captain.
Valencia.
Valencia is correct, Joe.
Valencia.
Wigan, where did he come from?
It was.
Yeah.
786.
Who returned to management at the highest level with French billionaires Paris Saint-Germain last year? Just 13 months.
Pochettino.
Well done, Joe. He is not messing about now, is he?
Premature.
We have now reached Wednesday, the 2nd of March, and Joe is starting to pull away.
Starting to pull out.
Premature
Joe. Who were crowned European champions for the 6th time thanks to a 1-0 win over PSG in Lisbon in August 2020?
Real Madrid.
No, it was not Real Madrid.
Go on then, Ned, you're still in it.
Who were
Bayern Munich.
crowned European champions for the 6th time thanks to a 1-0 win over PSG in Lisbon in August 2020?
Juventus.
Wasn't Juventus.
Atletico Madrid.
No.
Bayern.
I think one of you did shout it while I was re-rating.
Was it Bayern Munich?
It was Bayern Munich.
Joe.
But I'm afraid you were already out.
Joe. Oh, sorry.
That's a moral victory, that one.
Yeah.
Victory. Born in Glasgow in 1962, which midfielder won 73 caps for the Republic of Ireland whilst playing for Oxford, Liverpool, Aston Villa?
Ray Houghton.
John Aldridge.
Ray Houghton was correct.
Houghton.
Poison little dwarf.
And that makes the scores 7-9-7. Joe still with the 2-point lead.
Feeling nervous now, not going to lie.
Which former Leicester City boss had 14 games in charge of Derby County in 2016? Who shouted Nigel Pearson? Was that you, Ned? Correct. That moves you within one of Joe. The USA have qualified for all 8 Women's World Cups, but what has been their lowest finish?
Group stage.
Third.
Who shouted third?
Me.
Well done, Premature Joe.
Oh,
Total gas.
That's a great shout.
It is a great shout.
And that
Well,
puts-
they were the only team that was only good for years, weren't they?
and that makes you the first person to reach double figures on the scoreboard.
that means the worst they've done is not make the final.
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah.
Finish
sorry.
third. That's the worst they've done is not make the final.
So they've always got to the semis, basically.
Yeah.
Which Scotland international striker won the League Cup twice? First with Aston Villa in 1977 and then with their rivals Wolves in 1980.
Andy Gray.
Andy Gray is correct.
Oh, that's a great shout.
Before my time, that.
Basically a sly dig there while he's winning that bends off. Which England striker moved from Sunderland to Villa for 24 million in 2011? Come on,
Kevin
lads.
Phillips.
It's Phillips. Yeah, that's
No, it's
right.
not Kevin Phillips. No.
Sunderland to Villa.
Yes.
Sunderland to Villa.
So you're the only one left in, Joe, because you didn't go
Oh.
Premature.
I know
there
it
you
is.
go. Hmm?
I know where it is. Obviously, I can't say it now.
It was an obvious answer, though, wasn't it, Ned?
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna kick myself here.
There you are. Is it Darren Bent?
Yes, it was, but he didn't say he was giving it up.
I wouldn't have got that.
Darren Bent was the correct answer.
Saint Maslin.
Do you know what? The amount of times, like I say, I was bowling earlier tonight, and the amount of times it didn't go right, I just turned around. Oh, for fuck's sake, Fyfie! Bobbing my arms in the air.
You're like Jack hates bowling. You get so well.
I love bowling. I just wish I was better at it. I mean, tonight was one of my better performances. I actually first game because a group of us from work went. First game I won. I got 124 points. I think that's the most I've ever
Did
scored.
you have the grids up?
Eh? No sides at all. Second game I scored 70 odds. That was much more my standard.
Oh, you got some strikes first up then, no?
Yeah. Well, I did all right.
You put any spin on it, or you just bowl it straight?
No,
on?
I'm not very good at the spin, so I just go for raw power.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I mean, at one point, to be fair, so we were trying to, we've diverted away from the quiz slightly to talk about what I was doing this evening. But me and a couple of the guys were just trying to see who could get the most MPH out of it. And two of us got into 21. Me and one of the other lads got into 21. But one of the times, the ball came sliding out my hand, crashed into the gutter, spun up in the air. We thought it was going to go into the next one, but thankfully it span back and just hit one pin off mine.
It's good effort, that.
Anyway, back to the quiz. People don't want to know what I've been getting up to. They're only interested in what the panel are doing. Who scored 55 goals in 47 games in the 2019-20 season and finished as top goal scorer in 3 competitions: the Bundesliga, the German Cup, and the Champions League?
Lewandowski.
Haaland.
Lewandowski is correct, Ben. And that moves you within a point of Joe.
Peasy Lewandowski. That's what Freddie says.
Who captained St Mirren as they won the 2013 Scottish League Cup final with a 3-2 victory over Hearts, the club's first major cup trophy in 26 years, and then became manager of the club in 2019?
Jim Goodwin.
Jim, your knowledge of Scottish
Yeah,
football,
mate.
Oh,
Yeah, would you do? You
Wow.
study Scottish football? That if I was Scottish, I wouldn't know that.
I have these random things in my head.
So someone quickly tweet Cy Ferry and ask him if he knew the answer to that.
Yeah. I thought you'd have
Too
to
much,
get
football
fan
manager
to
being
get
played, I
that.
think.
is
Yeah.
that
Oh,
a
no,
part
no,
of the
no,
background
we
that you're
will
in
not have
Southampton?
language like this round here, Joe. I'm a champ manager guy. Jared Bowen scored 52 goals in 124 league appearances for which English club
Hull.
before joining? Well done, Ned. Hull is correct. That moves you level with Ben on 9 points.
Another absolute baller, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm-
good
I'm-
player. Good player. Play for England soon.
He should.
And it's Danny Dyer.
I was going to say, is he not going out with Danny Dyer now as well?
Yeah, Danny Dyer.
Things aren't too
picture,
bad for the
actually.
kid, are they?
There's a picture of Joe Bone actually when he was a Hereford fan, stood there in the crowd. He's got specky, skinny little boy, like go on Hereford, and it's saying everyone can have a dream. There is, and it's like you dream your dreams can come true. It's like Hereford. And he's with Danny Dyer, and he's a Premier League footballer, and he's got everything he wants. And so, yeah, dream on, kids.
Dream on. You can move on from Hereford. Which two Crystal Palace midfielders, who also played together at Wigan, spent almost 3 years playing...
McCarthy and MacArthur.
Very well done. Oh, look, a Scottish football question. And Joe
All over it, mate.
Joe is all over it.
Obviously, Swindon's close connection with Scotland going on.
He opens up a 3-point lead, and we are now at Monday, the 14th of March.
Oh, it's getting tight now, isn't
Getting
it?
close.
So all the time spent off the pod has been researching Scottish football.
I knew one day it would come to fruition.
Memorising
Scottish Encyclopedia of Football.
Who's updated Joe's name on the chat?
That was me.
I'm guessing it was Joe because I haven't. Speaking of Joe, Dr. Joseph Venglos became the first manager from outside Britain or Ireland to take charge of a top-flight English team when the Slovakian was appointed manager of which club in 1990?
It's going to be some rubbish, isn't it? Wimbledon.
No, it's not Wimbledon.
1990.
They have been an answer to a previous question.
Aston Villa.
Derby County.
No, it's not Derby County. Ned?
Pick a random English team, man.
Yeah.
Ned, let's make it interesting. Ben shouted the answer having already been out.
Oh, I'm going to stop doing that. You know? I'm going to stop doing that.
Now, were you paying attention, Ned?
What? Aston Villa?
Aston Villa's correct, Ned. Well done.
Oh, I'm going to stop doing that.
I got to say, Ned has robbed about 4 points of me.
And that moves Ned into double figures.
Sorry, Ben.
By the end of the 2019-20 season, who was the then longest-serving manager in the Premier League?
Arsene Wenger.
Wenger'd long gone by then. No, not Sean Dyche, I'm afraid. Ned, it's all on you.
Oh, current. Sorry, my bad. Shut up. I'm going to be quieter.
I reckon it's...
While Ned thinks, Joe, if you want to type a message just to me, I'll let you know if you're right.
No, I'll wait for the answer.
Put in the little group chat. Pop up.
Brain's gone dead. I can't even think of a team
No.
let alone a manager.
No?
Are
Are you happy to concede the point so Joe can have another go?
I might not be right, but...
He won't get the point for it anyway, but we can see if he was right.
Yeah, go on, Joe. Who was it?
It's either Klopp or Guardiola, is it?
No. Eddie Howe, while at Bournemouth.
Eddie Howe.
What was unique about Liverpool's defeat by Atletico Madrid at Anfield at the last 16 stage of the 2019-20 Champions League?
I hadn't scored.
Nope. In fact, you've gone too far that way.
So is it the record goals in a two-legged tie, something like that?
Not quite what I'm looking for, I'm afraid, Joe. Ned?
Is it? Oh, I don't know.
It was the first Champions League match with 4 extra time goals. Oh, fascinating stuff.
Wasn't it that one that clearance at Chelsea, wasn't it?
Interesting fact there.
Indeed.
Interesting
Every
fact,
day
boys.
is a school day, as they said.
Even a Friday.
And it's already gone. Learn something, gone within a second.
What first happened when Hibs and Rangers contested the final of the 2016 Scottish Cup?
Kicked off, hopefully.
What did you just say, Joe?
I said it kicked off, hopefully.
What was the first thing that happened?
First thing that happened.
Something about the game made it a first of its kind.
All right. Was it like some kind of
the
animal
question
running
wasn't
on the
very
pitch?
well worded. Now I've seen the answer. I understand what he's trying to say. What were you saying, Ned? Sorry.
Was it like the first time an animal's got on the pitch or something? Like
No,
a cat
no.
or something.
Went to penalties.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
No. Joe, you should be all over this Scottish football.
Yeah. It's not obscure enough. It's not obscure enough. It's not. It's not Greenock Morton's manager in 1915.
Something to do with the amount of red cards.
The final was contested between second-tier clubs for the first time.
Oh,
Obviously, Rangers were on their way back up the pyramid. Hibs had just been relegated and made the final. Commiseration.
Fair play, that's a good one.
So we are now at the weekend of the 19th and 20th of March. So we are on the final few questions. The scores currently, Ned 10, Joe 12, Ben 9. It's going to take a monumental comeback from Ben at this stage. No pressure.
Sounds like he doesn't have faith in you, Ben, to be fair.
No, I don't have much faith.
Which RM became the first Fulham player since Louis Saha in 2000-2001 to score more than 20 league goals in the season for the club when he had 21 in 2015-16? Of course it was. Of course it was. What RM scores goals for fun?
Rolling
Not obviously, but
Can you repeat the question?
yes.
All right.
Which RM became the first Fulham player since Louis Saha in 2000-2001 to score more than 20 league goals in a season for the club when he hit 21 in the 2015-16 season?
Wouldn't have a clue.
I've only got Raul Morales in my head, but I'm not even sure he played for Fulham.
Raul
Yeah,
Morales
that's what-
didn't play for Fulham. to my
No,
knowledge.
that's what I thought.
I've
So I
got
said roll a
Raul
mayonnaise.
Moat. He was a murderer. It's nothing to do with football at all. I can't get rid of it. Raul Moat.
Gaza, he worked well with Gascoigne, didn't he? Or Ralmo.
Would you like a clue?
Yeah.
He spent the clue is that it's not a Premier League goal record, and it's a striker who spent a lot of time scoring a lot of goals.
Ross McCormack.
Ross McCormack is correct, Ned.
Oh,
Yes.
he linked at Swindon for a little while, wasn't he, Ross? Then he had to go to, is it Aldershot? Yeah, an Aldershot.
No
I'm
idea.
just glad to get Raul Moat out of my head.
Which England striker was capped in 2005 while playing for Crystal Palace, and then the following year moved to Everton?
2005.
Jay Bothroyd.
No.
Was he eating a Big Mac?
How's his celebration?
Oh, bollocks.
Oh.
But can you repeat the question? Sorry, I missed the start of it.
Which England striker was capped in 2005 whilst playing for Crystal Palace?
Ian Wright.
No.
I think I know it, but
Ian Wright in 2005?
Knocking on.
For sake, Ben. And then the following year moved to Everton.
Yeah.
I think I know it, which is really annoying. Don't think that's helping, Fyfie.
No, it really isn't.
Well, I've done his famous goal celebration. Short of it being Robbie Keane and me doing a somersault and a fucking forward roll on the floor, not much else I can do.
He did that. That was his celebration, eating some burger.
I can't remember the celebration, but I think I know who it is.
Come on, Ned, you've got this. Come on, Ned.
Generally don't know.
Isn't it 20
Alex
years
to
ago?
Everton.
No idea at all? Who do you think it is, Joe?
Andy Johnson.
Andy Johnson is correct.
Andy Johnson.
Did Andy Johnson do that?
Yeah. Evidently not as often as I thought he did, because I remember him doing it vividly.
To
be fair, that completely threw me off.
We have 4 questions remaining. If Ben wants to win, he has to get all 4.
Oh, here we go. This is where I pull out the bad boys.
A late run.
There is a 1-point gap between Ned and Joe.
Is any of the question to do with Scottish football?
Come on.
As of the end of last season,
Which Scottish team?
the top transfer fee received by a Premier League club was 105 million, but which player generated the fee?
So they received 105 million Premier League club at the end of last season.
No, they never got it at the end of last season. As of the end of last season, the record was. So it never necessarily happened last season. We're all obviously massive Premier League fans here.
Bale.
Bale is incorrect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My God, I didn't say it now.
Question again?
The question again, as of the end...
I think...
Go on, Joe.
Not Coutinho.
Coutinho is correct.
No, you go.
Ben can no longer win. Can he get second? I missed what she said.
I did. Because I didn't. I can't win.
Which Danish club, who faced Liverpool in the Champions League in the 2020-21 season, are nicknamed the Wolves?
Copenhagen.
No.
Midtjylland, whatever they are.
Midtjylland is correct.
Well done. I was going to go Hammerby, but there we go. Well done.
And that, I believe, gives Joe an unassailable lead. 3 ahead. Yes, 3 ahead with 2 to play.
I'll just sit back.
Let's see if I can join.
I'll let the boys have a guess first on the other 2.
Well, Joe, you might as well sit back because listen to the second word of this question. Which Scottish team has played Barcelona 4 times in UEFA competition and won all 4?
Celtic.
No.
Aberdeen.
No. Who's in the background?
Wife.
Premature.
Who was that in the background?
My wife.
Was
I just
it?
got it
What
right.
did she
Was
say?
she right?
Is your wife beating?
What did she say?
She
What did she say?
feeding
You
you
said
the
Aberdeen.
answers to
No, I said
sometime.
Dundee United. You said Dundee United. That's a great shout.
Dundee United. Doesn't he study Scotland or something? Emily?
Dundee United in the 66-67 played them in the Fairs
There's
Cup.
a weird thing for Scottish football in this house. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I am.
And 86-87 played them over 2 legs in the UEFA Cup.
Sturrock, isn't it? Dundee, was it Dundee United? Sturrock.
Sturrock was Dundee United,
Yeah, because he painted the.
as was Hasni Al Joffrey.
Welcome. Oh, that twat.
Yeah,
Oh,
Joffrey.
Joe's the new Gabriel McSutton.
Gabriel McSutton of Scotland.
Right, so I think it's fair to say, lads, so we're sat here, if we give Joe the point, because he deserves it for, listening to his good lady wife.
Yes.
Makes you change.
Joe's currently got 15 points, Ned on 11, Ben on 9. So congratulations, Joe, regardless of what happens, you've won. But, let's make the final question interesting. A one-off penalty shootout question. First to get it wins this one on its own. Okay?
Right.
Who was the Nottingham Forest boss when club legend Stuart Pearce first joined the club in 1985?
Stuart Clark. Frank Clark.
No.
1985.
Got to be Cluffy, surely.
It is Cluffy. Well done.
Oh, do you know what? I'll
Gotta be.
guess the obvious. Clark. Can you see any
Well
like
done,
this,
Joe.
wasn't he? Oh, Frank Clark.
Stunning effort tonight. And congratulations to you two gentlemen as well. You made a very good fist of it until the end. And then Joe's Scottish football knowledge just led into victory.
I can't believe that, Joe.
What is going on now? I don't even know what is going on in my head.
Nor do we have the time. Jed, it's been an absolute pleasure spending the last hour or so with you. Thank you very much for taking time out your Friday night. Thank you to the wives as well, sitting in the background listening and throwing in comments and getting questions right as well. Thank you for your time. Anyone watching, listening, thank you very much as always.
You were no help.
We were.
You didn't say Coutinho. You did not say Coutinho.
Regular viewing will be back next week with the usual panel show. But from me, Ned, Joe, and Ben, until next time, have a great weekend and goodbye.
Cheers.